So I built Ganondorf into Elden Ring and he's kinda evil. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build him too. Just so that way you can be a little evil in the game as well. Join me as we walk through how to bring Ganondorf, the Dark Lord, into Elden Ring. Stay tuned.
Chill in the air, but the soul feels warm. Peace in the heart is the quiet storm.
Ganondorf's appearance. To bring Ganondorf to life, I built him in the image of the Gerudo warlord turned dark deity. His skin is a deep bronze with undertones of crimson, matching the desert sun that forged his legend. His hair is fiery red, thick and regal, bound in a way that evokes command and ferocity. Eyes glow with faint gold, an echo of his Triforce of power, a gaze that makes mortals falter. Facially, his bone structure is sharp, a pronounced jawline, strong nose bridge, and a steady stare that communicates absolute dominance. The body type is powerful yet balanced, tall, muscular, and royal in posture. Skin tone values are set at a deep red 150, green 80, and blue 60 spectrum, giving him that iconic Ganondorf shade without drifting too much into caricature. Every visual detail from the braids to the dark lining around his eyes reinforces the idea of divinity corrupted, the embodiment of strength unchained. When you look at him, you're not just seeing a man, you're seeing the vessel of power itself. Ganondorf's stats. At the heart of Ganondorf's might lies a triad of power: vigor, strength, and faith. These three stats define the Dark Lord's dominance over both mortal combat and divine flame. Your primary focus needs to be vigor at 60 if possible, strength at 99 if possible, and faith at 71 if possible. These will push your damage, sustain, and your spiritual authority to their peak. Your secondary focus needs to be mind at 50 and endurance at 50, because both reinforce the unrelenting nature of his power, allowing longer casting chains and heavy weapon swings without fatigue. And then dexterity, intelligence, and arcane, they're going to only exist to provide utility and spell thresholds. Now, if you're starting at lower levels, begin with strength and vigor and balance. At about level 50 to 80, you can go ahead and push strength to 60 and vigor to 45 so you can establish your foundation as a tank of destruction. Between 100 and 150, faith becomes the focus. It'll help you unlock incantations like Giant's Flame, Take Thee, and Flame Grant Me Strength. Once you get past 200, endurance and mind are only raised to complement the longer casting sessions and relentless melee chains. By my level of 297, you'll reach godhood, so wielding both physical devastation and holy fire in the perfect harmony. Ganondorf's stat distribution doesn't just reflect optimization, it's a statement. This is raw, sacred tyranny incarnate. Ganondorf's armor and weapons. Ganondorf's war gear represents the bridge between mortal kingship and divine wrath. The Hoslo set was chosen deliberately, ornate, blood-trimmed, and authoritative. It carries an unmistakable royal presence while maintaining heavy protection. Its detailing mimics the Gerudo gold accents and layered plates of Hyrule's ancient conqueror. For his weapons, we have the Blasphemous Blade plus 10 because this is Ganondorf's true sword of power. Every swing drains the enemy and restores your vitality, helping to channel the curse of the god who refuses to die. The weapon's unique skill, Taker's Flame, captures his essence, devastating, commanding, and regenerative through destruction. We also have the Giant Seal plus 25, which amplifies all fire-based incantations, representing Ganondorf's control over divine flame and chaos. And then we also have Godslayer's Seal plus 25, the inverse counterpart, because it strengthens black flame abilities, symbolizing the corruption within his holy power. Together, these seals reflect the dual nature of Ganondorf, the fire of the gods, and the darkness that consumes them. Ganondorf's Talismans, and Physick. Every talisman was chosen to mirror his overwhelming aura of dominance. First up, we have the Ritual Sword Talisman, which increases his attack power at full health, feeding into the Blasphemous Blade's self-healing for sustained offense. Next, we have Shard of Alexander, which amplifies skill power, ensuring Taker's Flame obliterates everything in its rage. Axe Talisman coming up strengthens charged attacks, harmonizing perfectly with those heavy swings and flame-powered finishers. And lastly, we have Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman, which reinforces the physical defense, solidifying Ganondorf's legendary durability. For the Physick combo, we have the Opaline Hard tier, which provides damage negation, Ganondorf's indomitable nature made manifest. And then we also have Stone Barb Crack tier, which enhances his poise and stagger potential, letting you dominate duels with unflinching aggression. When combined, these choices create an unbreakable loop of destruction, regeneration, and intimidation. Ganondorf's abilities. Ganondorf's power manifests through both Divine Flame and Abyssal Corruption. His incantations reflect his rise from a desert warlord to a god-consuming tyrant. His core abilities include Taker's Flames, the signature power that channels life-stealing fire in a massive shockwave. You have Giant's Flame Take Thee and Burn O Flame, which both mirror the destructive grandeur of Hyrule's burning skies under his reign. Then you have Blessing of the Erd Tree and Flame Grant Me Strength to embody divine arrogance, bolstering both spirit and body. You have Scouring Black Flame and the Black Flame Ritual, both representing his corruption by forbidden divinity, searing enemies with a god-killing fire. Next you have an Unendurable Frenzy, the madness of absolute power, a spectacle of chaos when all restraint burns away. Lastly, you have the Howl of Shabiri. It's the battle cry of a fallen deity, drawing enemies into his wrath. This roster of abilities fuses thematic identity with ruthless utility. Whether you're burning legions or confronting demigods, every spell feels like a declaration of supremacy. Ganondorf's playstyle. Ganondorf's gameplay philosophy can be described in one word: dominion. He fights like a god who's already won. Every encounter is an execution, not a duel. You begin fights by buffing with Flame Grant Me Strength and Blessing of the Erd Tree, asserting control from the first frame. Openers like Giant's Flame Take Thee clear fields and stagger bosses, setting up brutal follow-ups with Taker's Flames. When opponents close in, shift into melee dominance. The Blasphemous Blade restores health on a kill, letting you maintain peak aggression. Switch to Black Flame Ritual or Scouring Black Flame to punish clustered enemies, and when cornered, unleash Unendurable Frenzy to turn defense into chaos. The rhythm is destruction, restoration, and escalation, a loop that never breaks. You are not reacting to enemies, they are reacting to you. Ganondorf is built to make even demigods feel small. Final thoughts. This build isn't just powerful, it's complete. Every element, from stat distribution to visual design, feeds into a cohesive identity. Ganondorf represents control, ambition, and divine defiance. He's the archetype of power without morality, and this setup embodies that philosophy both mechanically and aesthetically. He's not meant to play fair, he's meant to rule. Closing remarks. If you've ever wanted to command the battlefield like the Dark Lord himself, this build is your key to that experience. It balances fire, faith, and raw physical might into a single devastating form that feels as mythic as it looks. Whether you're facing the gods of the lands between, or other players testing their strength, Ganondorf's presence alone will make them hesitate. Now take up the Blasphemous Blade, light the world aflame, and remind them why power always bows before the Dark Lord. And remember, if you made it this far in the video, leave a like hit that subscribe button, and share in the comment section what build you want to see next. Also, tell me about your favorite build. And until next time, I'm Uncle Dorian, and you've watched an Uncle Dorian production. Stay beautiful.
Cool breeze moves where the night is free. Calm waves drift like a melody. Uncle Dorian speaks with an easy tone.